Welcome to another episode of Diary of a Wannabe Comedian with me, Belle, a wannabe comedian. Happy New Year to you all. I can't believe it's New Year. I can't believe it's 2025. I was going to say the 1st of January, but it's not. It's the 2nd of January. Anyway, I hope you had a great New Year. I had a very boozy New Year, and I'm doing my roundup for 2024 now. Normally I do it on New Year's Eve, but it's been a quiet year this year for me because I spent it at home with family in Kent and not much else going on really. So anyway, also again, let's go back a bit. Long-time listeners will know that I do the old Big Ben countdown and talk about 12 things that have happened in the year. This year I'm going to change it up a bit and I'm going to talk about 5 things this year. And I'm going to enlist the help of none other than the Prime Minister himself to do the countdown.
Could you please join me when I say 5?
Thank you, Prime Minister. So in at number 5 is my best gig. Now, I only did 24 gigs this year. I think my target was about 25. I don't know, I can't remember. I haven't revisited what I said last year. Anyway, I only did 24 gigs, which was not enough, and I plan to do in the region of 36. That's my target for the forthcoming year. But my best gig was one right at the beginning, actually. It was only the 3rd gig I did of the year, and it was Slap and Giggle at the Coin Laundry. Unfortunately, I had a bit of a spat with the producer about recording afterwards, but we'll let that one slide. He's a nice guy and he runs good gigs, and that was by far the best gig that I've done this year. I don't know why, it was just one of those magical ones where the laugh starts rolling, and I felt I had some real supporters in the audience for some reason. And it was a great big audience, and they were a paying audience, and I think that makes a difference. So that was my best gig of 2024.
4.
In at number 4, I thought I would discuss my best movie. Now, I saw 69 movies this year, so it's pretty tough calling this one. And the quality was not great as well. So some of them I'm looking back and I don't even remember seeing the film. There was quite a few candidates for best movie. So I did enjoy Substance. That was quite a good one. Obviously Deadpool, that was pretty good. But I've landed on Heretic. And I've picked that one because it's a horror and I do like a good horror. And I just found Hugh Grant's performance outstanding. He was so good in it. So that's why I've gone for that. There were quite a few candidates. I mean, there's lots of other films that surprised me, and I can't think of them now. Was it one that I saw very recently? I had no expectation of. I'm going to have to look it up. Hang on. That's it. 6888. And I quite enjoyed Conclave. There's loads actually, but no, I'm going to go for Heretic is the best movie of the year for me. Over to you, Prime Minister.
3.
For this entry, I thought I would talk about the saddest moment of the year, or perhaps I should say the most poignant moment of the year. And that was, without a doubt, my friend's passing. So my friend Martin passed away earlier in the year, and his funeral was in October. And the most poignant moment was the hearse following behind what would be described, I guess, as a vintage fire engine, because he was a firefighter all his life. In fact, he came from a long line of firefighters. But then the hearse travelling behind with the helmet on the coffin and supported by colleagues and so on. It was very poignant. So that was the most poignant moment of 2024 for me.
2.
For this category, I've introduced a new category of Belle End of the Year. Now, you can imagine that there were an awful lot of candidates for this win, but I've gone with one because it was just so bizarre. In fact, it's probably unfair to say Belle End. I fear that he was just malfunctioning. But here is our leader, Sir Keir Starmer, Free Gear Keir, Two-Tier Keir, Never Hear Keir, whatever you want to call him. This is him speaking to his party at the Labour conference back in whenever it was, August, September, something like that.
I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages, the hostages.
There, a very worthy winner. Take it away, Prime Minister.
1.
And that brings me to the last category, which I've called the best moment of 2024. Now, this was really tricky. It was tricky for 2 reasons. One, 2024 was not a great year for me in so many ways. It was not a good year at all. And two, actually, when I did have good moments, they were all great. So it was very hard to pick. And I've gone for one that was just something. I think a good moment is one of those that you can't easily recreate. And that was playing with my little boy Jeremy when I was looking after him back in the summer. I was looking after him because my mum was away, and I was playing with him in the garden, and he was just cute as a button. I just can't describe how sweet he was, because you have to know him. He's a lovely boy, but he can be a bit grumpy. I mean, he doesn't attack you or anything. He's just moody. He's just this moody presence. But when he's in the garden, he's a different boy. He's like a kitten, and it was just so lovely. And I have actually got a picture that I took of him while we were playing, and I've put that on Instagram, so you can just see he was just in his element, and it was just lovely. So there's so much truth in getting out in nature, so being in the garden and being with an animal who doesn't really ask anything. Actually, I'll say that he demands a lot from me, usually treats, but generally speaking, animals don't really ask you for much. They just want, love, don't they? But yeah, that was a great moment. So I'm going to put that one down as my best moment of 2024. So Prime Minister, how was your 2024?
Yay! It worked! Nervous moment there, but it's all good.
Well, at least one of us thinks it's all good. So that's 2024. I hope you're having a great start to your 2025. Maybe I'll talk about New Year's resolutions. I don't know. I have done a little bit of thinking about it, but not too much. I'm normally very prepared, but not this year. As I say, I had a very boozy December. But anyway, I will speak to you on Monday. And in the meantime, have a great weekend. Much love and gratitude.